Hello, I am so excited to have everyone here today. We are having one of our past students, Ashley, on this live today. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put my phone on silent. Guys, give me 1 second here so this is not interrupting us. We're going to be going live with our past student, Ashley. She joined our program in, I think it was September of 2022. And since then, she has been able to build up a 6-figure investing portfolio. I am so stinking excited to share with you guys more about her journey and her experience working with us. So I'm just going to go ahead and add her to the live. Oh, she's right at the top. That's perfect. To join. She has had some incredible wins since working with us. So she was with us from September 2022 and she graduated in January of 2023. Ashley, hello, you're looking so beautiful.
Thank you. You too. I love your hair like that.
Oh, thank you. I was looking at it in the camera here and I'm like, I feel like it's kind of frizzy, but I'm still getting used to the curly
I love
hair
it.
thing.
That is like, I feel like it looks so good on
Oh,
you.
thank you. Is my sound coming in all weird for you?
Nope, it's good.
No? Okay, it's just me then. Okay, perfect. So guys, this is Ashley. I am so excited to have her here with us today. Like I was saying, she signed up with us in September of 2022. She graduated January of 2023, and since then has been able to make incredible, huge strides with her finances. So after completing the program, she was able to increase her credit score by 79 points. She's maintained that excellent credit score. She has paid off her credit cards in full every month. She has maxed out her TFSA. She has $100,000 invested. That is amazing. She has saved thousands on fees by switching to a self-directed portfolio. So that means she is actually running her investments herself. She has built an $80,000 emergency fund. That's incredible. Opened an RRSP, consistently contributing $500 a month, and she's increased her income while being able to work from home with her children and so much more. Ashley, I freaking love all of that so much. When you sent me that message on Instagram just to kind of update me on your progress, I think it was a couple months ago, I was so excited. Like, I just love that so much when our past students come in and they're like, Nicole, like, look at all the amazing things that I have done. So I just wanted to share your story with our audience. So if you want to tell us a little bit more about yourself, who are you? Where are you from? All that fun stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Ashley. I'm from a small town, and then I moved to the city, St. Albert, and I finished high school and actually moved across Canada to Ontario, Hamilton, Ontario. I became a dental hygienist and worked as a hygienist for 7 years. And then when I had my kids, I became a stay-at-home mom, so I was home with them every day. And I kind of did give up like my financial independence just to be home with my babies, and that was like really exciting for me. And I thought, watching my mom as a stay-at-home mom, that was really like exciting. But at the same time, like I really did give up all of my financial independence, and I didn't have like, kind of yeah, just like that money coming in, and like you could see it and like know where it's going. And even as a dental hygienist, I was making really, really great money, but like I didn't, if I would have known what I know now, if I would have taken this program like back when I graduated when I was 20 years old, I started making really great money. Bought my first condo when I was 23 years old, but like I don't know, I bought like a luxury car, bought like a nice condo, but I was just like throwing out money out the window. And like now I like joined your program because I became a single, like I'm a single mom of 2 kids, and I was like making good money, but I still was just like, I want to make more money, and I want to make sure that I'm set up good, my kids are set up good, and that we know like where the vision is and like where our life is like going. And so that's where you really came into the picture. And I watched your TikToks for a long time, and I just thought like I need to like really get my butt in gear and make sure I'm like so set up, and I never want to like depend on someone else for money again, right? Like in another relationship, I think it's just so smart to take control of your own finances and know exactly kind of where you're going. Because in like a relationship I was in, I had no idea like where we were going, where our money was going. Like I didn't see any of it. And now like that just seems so scary to me. Like I just can't imagine being in that scenario again. So I really like that I just took that, upon myself, and I learned like so much. And yeah, when I first started the program, I think I had like 50,000 to my name, and I've grown like my net worth to like over 200,000 now. So
It's
yeah.
amazing. Ashley, that's so incredible. I think like your story is so relatable in the sense that, you came out of school, you did the things that you were supposed to do, right? You went to school, you got the good job, you were making a good income. But instead of, really knowing what to do with that money, we were kind of just like upgrading our lifestyle. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think it's funny. I remember when I got my first bonus, when I was working my corporate job, and everyone was just like, well, what are you going to spend it on? Like, what are you going to buy? I'm like, oh, well, I've been eyeing this new jacket, this Macaj jacket at $1,600 or whatever it is, right? And it's just like, I was thinking about the things that I could spend that money on, the things that I could buy for myself without realizing that, yes, it's good to buy things that bring you joy, but if you have other goals and other values, like it's not just about spending the money, it's about putting that money where you're going to get the most happiness possible for every dollar spent. And I don't know about you, but like I grew up without a lot of money. So for a long time, when I started making more money, I felt like I needed to kind of like prove my worth through my purchases, right? So it's like, okay, I thought when I was going to get my new car, I was like, do I get a Lexus? Because I want to like show everyone I'm successful. I want to have like the expensive boots and I want to have the Macaj jacket and I want, do all of these kind of things. But I can undoubtedly say that now having my freedom and having that peace of mind that comes with having financial security is worth more than any of those
Oh
things.
yeah, and I was totally like that. I bought that Lexus. I bought the Lexus car. I bought the Macaj coat for like $1,200, and I would
Yeah.
spend so much money on Aritzia and just like shopping and just like nonsense stuff. Where now I'm like super, like it's still nice to treat yourself once in a while, but I'm super like frugal. I'm just like, how much can I like invest? Like that's kind of like my goal is like I want to just have more and more money to invest, right? Put that
I think it's like that mindset shift though, right? Because it's like, so let me ask you, do you feel deprived? Do you feel like you don't have enough in your life?
no, no, not really. No, I just feel
That's
happy.
the,
Or
yeah.
I used to feel like buying like all these things would like bring me happiness, but
Mhm.
it's like not really. Like I just love the freedom. I can stay home. I know that like, my investments are paying me like dividends and just to see that
Yeah.
one day to pay dividends to pay for like all of the things in my life, like how you do, I'm like that is like amazing. That's the goal.
It's incredible. It's such an amazing feeling when you can start learning how to use your money to buy your time back because everybody always says, time is money, but money is also time. We can reverse that equation and we can literally use our money to buy our time and our life back. Like, I know when I went to my first corporate job, I was like, I can't do this forever. You go through school and you're so excited to get your like big girl job, and you get there and you're like, oh my God, I have to do this for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah. I know. I was like dreading like the year 7. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine doing this for 30 years. Like setting an alarm clock and like waking up. I was just like, it was just hard. And sometimes I had like doubts. Working for yourself, I sometimes like
Yeah.
doubted it. Like, maybe, it's safer. I just go to my 9 to 5 job. But I don't know, just keeping consistent on what I'm doing. And I don't know, so many things like have just come my way. And I've been able to like multiply my money and like start more businesses. And I don't know, it's like fun. I love like just being creative and working for myself. And it's really
It's
great.
incredible. I'm so happy for you. So let's backtrack a little bit. So you said when you ended up reaching out to me, you were like, I want to get a better handle on my money. Can you tell us a little bit more about what was going on with you at that time? And then what made you reach out to me specifically?
Yeah, so I guess I had money just like in a bank with like a mutual like fund advisor. But you know
Mhm.
what? I had like a chunk of money in there and I was like not doing anything with I wasn't adding more money to it. It was just kind of like what was in there. And I didn't really know much. Like I don't know, my dad was like a business owner and he kind of like knows of investing and all this stuff, but like my parents really didn't teach me any of this stuff. So yeah, it was just really interesting to see some of your videos and just hear you talk just like about REITs and investing and so, like
Mhm.
managing portfolio and a bunch of these things. And yeah, just making enough money to like invest every month and, eventually pay to live off your dividends. And I just thought,
Mhm.
okay, I'm making like decent money. I want to be able to like set aside some money. And I just had no idea like how to really do any of that
What
stuff.
to do with it.
Yeah, I just thought, okay, I need to know like where to put my money so I can set myself up for the
Yeah.
future and know we're gonna be okay because it was just like me and my 2 kids and I wanted to make sure that we're gonna be in a good place because I was a little bit like scared, right? I
Yeah.
felt like I was
Sure.
starting my life over with like nothing. Like I really didn't have like much to my name when we separated because I didn't have money
Yeah.
coming, income coming in. My bank account wasn't growing, so it was like
Yeah.
I was starting from like scratch. I felt like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you're not the only one in that position, and there's no shame or no blame over it. There are a lot of students that have come into our program for similar reasons, right? They're like, hey, I was in this relationship where my husband, my partner, my boyfriend, whatever it
Yeah.
was handling all of the finances. And now I have to do that on my own. And I'm kind of like, holy shit, I don't even know what to do. And I need to make sure that I'm setting myself up properly. I don't know how to manage money. I don't even know what's going on with the debt. I don't know how to invest or even think about my future. So I think that that is so brave that you were able to see that situation and be like, hey, I know that there's something that I don't know, so let me go out there and seek the information. And I think it's so interesting too when you said, your parents were really savvy with money, but didn't really pass any of that along down to you. And that's actually something I hear over and over again. And I think it's funny because, again, as somebody growing up without a lot of money, you just assume, okay, like, the kids who have parents that are wealthy and are doing well, they're going to tell them and they're going to give them like this secret roadmap to success kind of thing. But I have spoken to so many people where it's like, even though their parents make good money or they are financially literate, they don't like there's still this air of like we don't talk about money or we don't share these kind of details about our lives with our children. And I think that that is such a I don't know, it's such a crazy thing, right? Because I mean, obviously, school doesn't teach us about any of this stuff in a way that is productive or effective. And if we don't have parents to teach us, well, then who's going to teach us? And money, maybe it's not everything, but everything takes money. Money is like that baseline, that foundation to everything in life. It's funny when we think of like even Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the very bottom, 100%, I believe that money should be there because without money, you cannot have shelter, you cannot have safety, you cannot have security, you cannot have food. Like, you need money to have all of those things. And the fact that we are not taught how it works and how to utilize it and how to make sure that we are doing the right thing with it is just like it's so crazy to me. It's so
Yeah,
crazy to me.
that's why I was like, I need to set myself up in a good way that I learn this stuff now so that when my kids get, even when they're like 10, 12, I think that's good times to start talking to them a little bit more about, just even like,
Mhm.
and like, we don't need to spend all of our money, but yeah, I want them to know like at 18 or 20, like to start investing for themselves so that, they don't have to work as hard, right? So they don't have to go through kind of things I went through. So
Like to learn from your mistakes kind of
yeah, this
thing.
is just like life things that everyone should know. Like it was like the absolute best money I ever spent ever.
Oh, I'm so
And
happy. That makes me so happy.
it was at first it was just like, oh my gosh, should I be spending this much money? Like, should I actually do this? But no, like
Mhm.
right away it was like you just learn so much. And then right away I was like on the phone calling, my cell phone and the internet and all these different bill companies and I
Yeah.
got everything lowered. So it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, without that
So
like advice.
that's my favorite way to save money when you don't have to change your lifestyle and you still get all of the things that you like already had, but then you just pay less for them. I
Yeah.
love it so
Oh
much.
yeah, totally. Yeah. So now
And
I just like love saving money and yeah, being yeah.
it becomes like hey, spending money is really fun, but saving money is such an addiction because when you start to look at how those savings convert back into you like feeling more safe, feeling more secure. Like students come through our program and they're like, "Yes, okay, you've helped me change my financial situation, but like I'm sleeping better. I've lost weight because I'm less stressed. I am having better relationships. Like I'm not like fighting with people all the time or fighting with my partner. Like I just feel at peace." And I think like getting your finances in order is, like I said, going to be that baseline to you finding your happiness. And I don't think that there's anything else in life that's really important because nothing matters if you're not happy,
No.
right? So money is going to bring you that freedom, that safety, that security. And I love that for you so much. And I love that you're looking at, sharing this information with your kids because I know everybody talks about how generational wealth is life changing, but so is generational knowledge. Not only just like getting money, but how to grow money, how to keep money, how money actually works. That is so incredibly important. And I don't think that there's too early of an age to start. Like, so I have a 2 and a 5-year-old, and when we'll watch TV, like a commercial comes on or something, and it's so funny. So I'm like, what are they trying to sell you? What is this? So my 5-year-old, they're trying to sell me a car. I don't need a car. I already have a car. My husband laughs, but I'm like, just, and I don't know if this is the right thing. Maybe someone's going to be like, you're fucking them up, and maybe I am. But I think I'm trying to just help them have like that discernment, right? To see, okay, like you're in this situation, you think that they're just like showing you this new car, but it's because they want your money. So how are you going to interpret the messages that you're seeing, and how do you differentiate between like a want and a need and all of that kind of stuff?
Exactly. Yeah. My kids are like, yeah, my kids are 4 and 6, and everywhere we go, it's like they want to buy toys and this and that. And it's just like, you know what, having a few toys, but they don't even play with half the toys. So I'm like, you know what,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna be happy. And I didn't tell you this, but I started investing now for my kids. I opened them each
Amazing.
a registered account, and I'm investing $100 each for them. And then on
That's
birthdays, I'll kind
amazing.
of do a little bit more. But yeah, so
That's
I did
amazing.
start my RRSP. I started a non-reg for myself, and then non-reg for both my kids.
I love that so
Yeah.
much. That's how does that make you feel right now? Seeing where you were and then seeing where you are now, like confident and feeling secure, and like how has that changed your life?
Um, Oh my gosh, I just feel like I can like breathe, because I don't know, it stressed me out a little bit, just being like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm good, and like I can like manage my own like portfolios and get everything all
Mhm.
good. And I was like, I want to do this for my kids so bad, but I was like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. But now being in this place where I'm just like, I don't know, I'm taking on more work, and I'm asking for more money, and like, my partnerships with brands and just like different clients of mine. And I'm just like excited that, I can actually do this for them, and one day, teach
Mhm.
them value, and they can hand it over to their kids. And I feel
Yeah.
like they'll be just so grateful. We didn't buy all these crazy, just random toys everywhere, but you know what? You're going to have this big chunk of money, and whether you want to use it for school or you keep investing, and use that till you're, 40, 45, and then you can retire early. Like,
It's amazing. It's such
yeah,
an amazing feeling to know that you're like helping them get to that place where they're going to have those choices and they're going to have that opportunity because of all of the work that you did for them today. That's
yeah.
amazing.
I'm just like, I wish my parents did this for me. So I don't know. I just really hope that, yeah, I can keep learning and kind of growing, and then they can pass this down to their family, and
I love
yeah,
it
just
so
help
much.
it.
I love that so much. Okay. Do you want to share maybe a few main takeaways from the program that really helped you maybe change your mindset or get you to where you are today?
Yeah. So I feel like my next I was really like set on getting a rental property. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of been a goal of mine for a little while. But then being in your program and hearing you talk a little bit, I think you were a landlord, and
Yeah.
that can come with its problems too,
Mhm.
and fixing things. And, sometimes you make money, sometimes you don't make money, and it's kind of like
Mhm.
a up in the air. But I've really learned like a lot about REITs as well,
Mhm.
and I've been speaking to like some private REIT companies, that district REITs, and kind
Mhm.
of going back and forth. And so yeah, that's kind of like my next avenue is, do I want to be a landlord? Do I want to get a
Yeah.
rental property, or do I want to get into REITs? And yeah,
Mhm.
kind of like weighing on that. But yeah, just real estate. I didn't really have any knowledge around a
Yeah.
lot of that. Like I did buy my first condo when I was super young, lost
Mhm.
a lot of money on that. It was like not a good investment at all.
Mhm.
And my other house, when we sold that, we didn't really like, at the end of the day, when you have your property taxes and
Mhm.
fixing things, really
Yeah.
didn't really make any money at all either. So yeah, just with like homes and stuff, I feel like you've taught me a lot in the
Mhm.
rental, estate, REITs, all that kind of stuff. That was
Yeah.
really great to learn about. Yeah, and then just like managing my own portfolio, kind of like bringing
Yeah.
all of my investments over from a bank, which was taking like a lot of
Yeah.
fees. And now managing my own portfolio, I do like a lot of reading and studying. I'm like super nerd on just like learning stocks and
Love
like
it.
ETFs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I just have learned so much in your program, like about managing my own portfolio and like saving on those fees, and how that in the long term can take a lot of money away from you if you don't know.
It's
And
crazy.
I didn't
It's
know the numbers at all. I had to literally call the bank and be like, "What are you charging me?"
Yeah, because it's like they don't even talk about it. And if they do, they're like, oh, it's small. It's just like a couple of percent. And the way that they say it usually makes it sound like they only take it off of your profits. But no, they're taking it off of the total portfolio. They take it whether or not you make money. And if you are paying a 2 to 3% fee, which is not uncommon, especially with Canadian mutual funds, you're going to have to save and invest double to end up with the same amount as somebody who invested on their own. So if you think about, okay, instead of saving, if I needed like $200 a month to get to my goal, now I need $400 a month. Why? For what reason? So the bank can get rich? Like, why? Like, don't do that to yourself, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just, I mean, I even saw somebody, a student in our coaching program right now, he asked this morning, he's like, oh, I think I'm in like segregated funds. And I was like, oh my goodness, his accountant got him put into these things. And typically those have even a higher fee than mutual funds do, sometimes even over 3%. And I'm like, holy shit. It's like, that is just, it is stealing money from you. Like even a 1% difference in fees can mean 10 years less in retirement income. And a lot of people just don't realize that. They see the number, if they see the number at all, they see the number and they're like, oh, it's so small, thinking it doesn't make a big difference. But when you actually look at the comparison to what your portfolio would be if you were self-directed investing, like doing it on your own versus having them do it for you, knowing that they're not doing anything that you can't do on your own very easily. Like the way that the financial services industry talks about investing, or like you go to the bank and the way that they talk about investing to you, they make it seem like it is so complicated and it's not possibly something that you could do on your own, when the reality is it's actually very simple. It's very, very easy. And when you learn it, you're like, wait, what? Like that's it?
Like actually, like I'm so like obsessed with it. Like I love checking it and like learning it and just like seeing, what's doing well. And it's like, it's fun. I'm like, I want to do this full time. Just like manage this every day. But yeah. And then also the high yield savings account. I just had like a regular savings account at my bank, which is making like like nothing.
Yeah.
So then being able to switch that over, I think at one point it was like 5% interest.
Yeah.
It's kind of lowered a little bit now, but like that's made such a huge difference. Like just from my money being in there, I make over $300 a month.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy because like, why didn't know high yield savings account is like actually the most simple thing. It is the most simple thing. And like, nobody knows about it. Nobody ever told anybody about it. And it's like, how can I make like 4 or 5% on my money? It's the exact same thing as a regular savings account, but I'm just actually making more money off of it. Like, how did nobody tell me about this? Why is this like, why are we just all having savings accounts with our regular bank? This should be a regular thing. Everybody should have a freaking high yield savings account.
So yeah, my bank, I keep it very limited. Like my debit card, I don't even ever carry my debit card around. I never carry like a fee on my credit cards at all. I pay those off every month, pay no interest. But yeah, I like even making like, getting my points on my credit cards, getting cash back on credit cards. Like that's all like helped me to up my credit score. And yeah.
Amazing. I love that for you. I love that so much. Okay, Ashley, so why don't you tell us a little bit more about what goals you are pursuing next? What is up next for you?
I guess now I'm just kind of just like the income multiplier kind of type deal, just like still kind of increasing, how much money I'm getting paid. That's kind of always just like a scary thing to get like ask for more money. But that is something that, as I've kind of grown and learned and I'm taking on kind of new tasks, like I'm just writing up my new contract right now for a client here in
Amazing.
And it'll be my biggest contract that I've ever done. I'm kind of getting into new line of work, but yeah, I'm kind of just learning some new things in my career, in my content creation. And yeah, my goal right now is just kind of to keep upping my income.
That's amazing. That's incredible. I love that for you. And I'm so excited for you. And you should be so proud of yourself for all of the hard work that you have done. One thing, I saw a question here. Somebody asked if Canada has high yield savings accounts. Yes, they do. The one that I was using for the longest time was EQ Bank. I still love them. However, I have a big chunk of my investments with Wealthsimple. So I already had a Wealthsimple account, and then they started Wealthsimple Cash. Initially, I didn't love it because it didn't have the ability to have like sub accounts. So you had all your money in one account. And I don't like that from like an organization perspective, or like self-sabotage perspective. Like if all your money is in one big thing, it is so easy to take from that and use it for something other than what you intended it for. Versus if the account is named like new car or like Bali 2025 or emergency fund, right? Like you're going to think twice. It's going to bring you back into your conscious and be like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be spending, buying a sweater or a pitcher of margaritas with this money that I don't really need kind of thing. And I have this cash sitting here. So initially I didn't like it for that reason, even though the interest rate was higher. However, they introduced that capability a couple of months ago. So I have moved all of my like short-term savings over to the Wealthsimple cash accounts, but I still keep my EQ account because they have really good GICs. So if I ever want to buy a GIC, I use that from there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you always talk about the GICs. I haven't done that one yet, but no, I just did on the Wealthsimple because that's basically the only app I use for like everything. It's just so easy to like see everything.
Yes.
And yeah,
It really is simple.
I started kind of breaking out my emergency fund. So like emergency fund and then like travel and
Yes.
little stuff like that.
I love that. I love that for you. Okay, Ashley. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so amazing to chat with you. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with all of our followers and our community. And just keep in touch, keep in contact. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye, honey. Bye, everyone. Have a great